Librarian from the Medicine Hat Public Library. Thanks for tuning in for another episode of Teen Book Chat. And tonight we are chatting about graphic novels because, did you know, July is National Graphic Novel Month. How cool is that? So I'm going to talk about some different graphic novels, from fantasy, science fiction, to some romance, and even some nonfiction graphic novels, which are super awesome and accessible way to read. Yes, graphic novels! I love it! Yay! Oh, I just love all the love for graphic novels. I love graphic novels so much as well. I'm so glad you guys are excited. So, before we get into things, I just want to remind you, we're open to the public Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., and you can come in and pick up books yourselves. Or if you prefer to do online, you go to our website, MHPL.info, and you're going to go to the red tab, Books and More. And you're going to click on eBooks and Comics. You can actually read comics online for free with your library card. And you can do that on RB Digital as well as Overdrive, which is so cool. Free comics on your phone. I love it. I think you guys love it too. Look at all those hearts. Amazing. All right, so we're going to start with some sci-fi graphic novels. And I'm going to start off with Last Pick by Jason Walls. Twins Sam and Wyatt were children when the aliens took everyone between the ages of 16 and 65, except for those with disabilities, who were deemed weak or useless. Wyatt sees the world differently than his neurotypical sister, and altogether the two try to discover where the invaders have taken their parents. When the aliens return to collect more people, the duo now know it's time to fight back. This is an action-packed story with atmospheric cartoonish art and a cliffhanger ending. You will want to, you may finish this book in one single sitting, so you may want to grab books 2 and 3 as well. There is also very strong character development, villainous and scary aliens, snappy banter, cheer-worthy protagonists, sign language, and well-executed suspense. And this book should give broad appeal to readers of varying interests. So this is a fairly new graphic novel series. There's books 1, 2, and 3 out, and they're all available to pick up at the library. And you can pick those up right now, tomorrow, I guess. We're open 2 to 6 p.m. tomorrow. So that's Last Pick by Jason Walls. What's super cool is that Wyatt is on the spectrum and uses sign language to communicate, and the artist actually draws out the sign language, which is so unique. All right, another sci-fi graphic novel for you is Spill Zone by Scott Westerfeld. From the author that brought us the cult classic YA series The Uglies comes a Stranger Things-esque horror sci-fi graphic novel 2-part series. It's a mystery why 3 years ago, the town Poughkeepsie suddenly broke the boundaries of reality, giving life to demonic wolves and sentient twisters, or why its human inhabitants now hang suspended in the air like puppets. It wasn't aliens, it wasn't a nuclear attack, and the military isn't talking. That isn't Addison's mystery to solve. All she has to do is go into this quarantine area, the Spill Zone, and photograph the bizarre happenings. She sells the images to support herself and her sister, Lexa. But soon the woman buying the bulk of her photographs presents Addison with the opportunity to embark on a deadly mission inside the Spill Zone, with reward of cool $1 million should she succeed. The illustrator of this book provides rough, gritty, and monochromatic visuals that enhance the creepiness of the haunted world of the Spill Zone, as well as the horror that is creeping into the more realistic world and danger that Addison must navigate. So yeah, this is a 2-part series. Books 1 and 2 is all it is in the series, and they're available to pick them up at the library. Yeah. And if you love his books, the Ugly series or Stranger Things, the graphic novel is for you. It is awesome. Oh, we got some questions. How long I will be live? I'll be live for about 15-20 minutes. That's usually how these work. Feel free to put in questions in the comments and I will try to get to you, or you can DM me if you have more questions. All right, moving on to a superhero graphic novel, and not just any superhero graphic novel. No, this is about the very first plus-size superhero, and that is Faith. And this is the first volume called Hollywood and Vine by Jody Hauser. Faith Hebert, a psiotic or person with superpowers known as Zephyr, has relocated to Los Angeles in search of a fresh start. Once part of a group of psiotic humans called the Harbinger Renegades, she now works as an unassuming entertainment blogger named Summer, eager to make her mark as a journalist and superhero, yet conflicted about attracting attention. When her telekinetic powers and the hacking ability of a friend unearth other inactive psiotic beings who have mysteriously disappeared, Faith investigates. This is a modern twist on the classic superhero tale. Faith doesn't have the typical superheroine body type, dismantling stereotypes about what it means to be superpowered. While the plot doesn't deviate too far from the average superhero story, Faith is a self-aware protagonist commenting on the common superhero tropes, and this 4-part series is sure to spark conversations about body image and women in comics. Super fun, amazing comic, four books in the series, and available to pick up at the library. She's super funny and really, really relatable. And what's super cool is she's getting her own novel adaptation this year by Julie Dunphy, who wrote Dumpling. So after you read the comics, you'll have to read the novella that comes out. Super cool. Next, we have a fantasy graphic novel. It's a bit of an oldie, but it is a classic, and that is Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. You might know that name because she writes the Lumberjane series. So before Lumberjanes, there was Nimona. Nimona is an impulsive young shapeshifter with a knack for villainy. Lord Ballister, Blackheart, is a villain with a vendetta. As sidekick and supervillain, Nimona and Lord Blackheart are about to wreak some serious havoc. Their mission? Prove to the kingdom that Sir Ambrosius Goldeloin and his buddies at the Institution of Law Enforcement and Heroics aren't the heroes everyone thinks they are. But as small acts of mischief escalate into vicious battle, Lord Blackheart realizes that Nimona's powers are as murky and mysterious as her past, and her unpredictable wild side might be more dangerous than he is willing to admit. Set in a medieval meets modern fantasy kingdom, Stevenson's angular, stylish, colorful art with hand-lettered text relishes the wackiness of sword and sorcery kingdom, incorporating both fantasy and sci-fi elements. Packed with spot-on comedic timing and heartening relationships, this standalone graphic novel is perfect for readers who prefer their adventures rockingly clever. What I love about this graphic novel is that it tells the story of the villain, which is super, super cool. The main characters are actually the supervillains, and yeah, it's a super awesome, fun adventure. There's only one in the series, so perfect if you're not a fan of series, and definitely recommend to grab this one. It's available to pick up at the library. Okay, we're done with the science fiction and fantasy. So maybe science fiction and fantasy is not your jam. That's okay. I have some other graphic novels I can recommend you. And we're going to start off with a romance called Kiss Number 8 by Colleen Venable. On the surface, Amanda, Mads for short, her life seems ideal. She has good friends at church and school, a great relationship with her dad, and her only real problem is a nagging mom and unwanted attention from the boy next door. Overhearing her father talking to another woman changes everything in an instant. To make matters worse, Mads also wonders why her first 7 kisses with boys aren't as stirring as kiss number 8 with Laura, and why she feels something deeper than friendship for Kat. Trying to cope with the confusion, Amanda makes some rash, poor decisions and digs herself into a heap of trouble, but help comes from a couple of unexpected sources. The art in this graphic novel serves the story well and is most powerful when depicting the contrast between truth and lies. This isn't the easiest coming-of-age story, but it's one that will resonate with young readers, especially those questioning their sexuality. So this is a really great LGBT graphic novel, a really amazing story. I don't want to spoil the ending, but yeah, the main character is questioning through the whole time, and it broke my heart. It is so, so good. I highly recommend you pick it up. And this one's available for pickup at the library. You can come pick it up anytime or place a hold on it if it's unavailable. Awesome. Moving on is another LGBTQ graphic novel, and this is actually a series, and it's kind of more sports related, which is kind of cool. And that is Fence by C.S. Pacat. Nicholas, the illegitimate son of a retired fencing champion, is a scrapping fencing wonder kid and dreams of getting the chance and the training to actually compete. After getting accepted into the prestigious King's Row private school, Nicholas is thrust into a cutthroat world and finds himself facing not only his golden boy half-brother, but the unbeatable, mysterious Seiji Katayama. Through clashes, rivalries, and romance between teammates, Nicholas and the boys of King's Row will discover there's much more to fencing than just foils and lunges. This 3-part series delivers a complicated story of rivalry, romance, and school spirit with beautiful character depictions and stunning full-color panels. Fans of sports manga should especially pay attention as there's just the right mix of action and heartfelt storytelling to leave readers wanting more. Fans of sports manga such as Haikyuu will fall in love with this American-style graphic novel, you're just gonna love it. It's so good. It's so cute. There's 3 books in the series. They're all at the library, and you can pick that up anytime. This is very, very new as well. But yeah, if you love sports and boys and romance, and this is just the perfect graphic novel series for you. Alright, so our next few graphic novels are actually going to be non-fiction graphic novels. Graphic novels, non-fiction is a great accessible format to get information, and these two are very, very, very good, or else I wouldn't be talking about them. And the first up is a brand new one called Dragon Hoops by Jean Lin Yang. Jean understands stories, comic book stories in particular. Big action, bigger thrills, and the hero always wins. But Jean doesn't get sports. As a kid, his friends called him Stick, and every basketball game he played ended in pain. He lost interest in basketball long ago, but at the high school where he now teaches, it's all anyone can talk about. The men's varsity team, the Dragons, is having a phenomenal season that's been decades in the making. Each victory brings them closer to their ultimate goal, the California State Championships. Once Jean gets to know these young all-stars, he realizes that their story is just as thrilling as anything he's seen on a comic book page. He knows he has to follow this epic to its end. What he doesn't know yet is the season is not only going to change the Dragons' lives, but his own life as well. Based on the author's own life and the lives of his fellow teachers and students, the full-color cartoon-style art will transport you into the world of high school basketball. So this is a really great option if you love reading about true stories, because this is based on a true story, and again, sports and basketball, what more could you want from this? And this book is actually available on Libby by Overdrive, so you can download it on your phone and read it on your phone in full color, which is so, so cool. Our last one is a kind of a really timely one that I really wanted to highlight, and it's called March by John Lewis. Former U.S. Congressman John Lewis, who sadly passed away just this month, is an American icon, one of the key figures of the civil rights movement. March is a 3-part series that presents a vivid first-hand account of John Lewis's lifelong struggle for civil and human rights, mediating in the modern age of distance traveled since the days of Jim Crow and segregation. The series tracks Lewis from his hard-scrabble childhood on a remote Georgia farm to his gradual awakening in the evil segregation and his growing leadership role in Martin Luther King Jr.'s nonviolent resistance movement, while showcasing the momentous events happening around him that cannot be ignored. The realistic black and white ink wash art intensifies this riveting, personal, and timely narrative. So this is a 3-part series, and it's kind of sad because Congressman John Lewis actually passed away this month. But it's such an important story, especially within this Black Lives Matter movement. If you want to learn more about what's going on in the United States around that movement, I highly recommend this graphic novel series. There's 3 in the series, and it's just so informational, but also like very visual and very hard story, but a very good story. So there's 2 ways you can grab this. We have the whole entire series at the library, or you can download it on your phone through the RB Digital app and read the comics on your phone. So friends, we have come to the end of our book chat for the day. Happy Graphic Novel Month. I hope you have found something new that you're going to explore. Maybe you've never read a graphic novel before. If you haven't, I highly recommend it. Graphic novels are reading. It is considered reading. Comics are reading. Don't let anyone tell you anything else, because so much goes into creating a graphic novel and so much goes into reading a graphic novel. It will blow your mind. There's so many genres that I didn't even touch on because I didn't have time today, but I highly recommend you check it out. And if you have questions, let me know. DM me and I would love to answer them. Until next time, friends, stay safe and stay cool in that heat wave. Bye!